Hi everyone, welcome to our video. In this video, we will present about the stories of 4 Indonesians in their survival using foreign languages abroad. But before that, let us introduce ourselves.
Hi, my name is Sifra Alfiani Suradi and my student number is 11 2018 014.
Hello, my name is Istidia Ayu Safitri. My student number is 11 2018 078.
Hello everyone, my name is Arvidesi. My student number is 11 2018 081.
The first is Introduction. For the aim, this article presents how 4 Indonesians living abroad have been struggling with new languages in their new countries. For research questions, how did these 4 Indonesian respondents survive with their English in foreign countries? Second is about literature review. I'm going to present about monolingual, bilingual, and multilingual. For the first is about monolingual. Monolingual is people who speak only one language. They never have conquered a language, feel that it is just totally outside of their possibility. They think it is impossible to speak another language. They can't even differentiate any sounds that a bilingual person is making. For them, it all sounds the same, and it make they have bilingual envy. It can happen because it is very real and the degree increases throughout the monolingual community. And now is about bilingual. Bilingual is people who can speak 2 languages. Bilingual education is now mushrooming in the world. The benefits of being bilingual are the fact that people can understand and appreciate the culture differences and nuances. Krasuchkai 2015 said that bilingual people's interactions with those of different cultures will go deeper and finally they can express themselves in a multitude of forms. Now is about multilingual. Multilingual is people who can speak or use several languages. The positive thing about multilingual speakers is that speakers can excel over their monolingual peers, not only in linguistic knowledge and skills, but also in cognitive, social, personal, academic, and professional aspects. The benefits of multilingualism are greater vocabulary, better listening abilities, and a sharper memory. Multilingual is also said to have a better understanding of cultures and better problem-solving abilities and also understanding of their L1 or first language. In summary, multilingual speakers are blessed with cognitive, curricular, communication, culture, character, and vocational or employment benefits.
Hi, I'm Sifra, and in this time I will explain you about the study. The study from the article that we got. Before, Isti already explained about the introduction, like the aim and the research questions, and then the second is the literature review about monolingual, bilingual, and multilingual. In this time, I will explain that in the study we have three parts. That is, first is about participant, and the next is about data collection, and the last is about data participant. Okay, for the first is about participant. In this article, we have 4 participants. First is Anita. She is 34 years old from the article. And the second is Pecho. Pecho is 45 years old. And the third participant, we have Cindiana. She is 36 years old. And the last is Dando. Dando is 44 years old. Next is about data collection. In data collection, the first participant in this article, we have Anita. Anita, she is 34 years old and she is single, and then her educational background, the first is English education. She graduated in 2004 and then she graduated in 2009 in MBA International Marketing. She lived in Germany since 2005 in Rettlingen, Germany. Her job is procurement change management support, cars and vans, Mercedes-Benz. Her language spoken today, she has Indonesian, Japanese, English, German, Chinese, Dutch, Malaysian, Spanish, Japanese, Hungarian, and Romanian. And actually, his family, mother and father, both of them speak using Indonesian and Japanese. Next participant, we have Pecho. Pecho, he is 45 and he is married, have 2 children. And for his educational background, graduate in marine education, graduate in 2010. Now he lives in Middle East, and his job is first rank captain assistant in the in charge ship of Zamil. And he lived in the Middle East since 1995, and language spoken today, language that he used is Indonesian, Japanese. For the job, he used 80% English, 18% Tagalog, and 2% of Arabic. For the family background, Bejo is same like Anita. Bejo parents using Japanese and Indonesian. Okay, for the third participant, we have Cindiana. Cindiana is her age 36 years old and she is a married person, have 1 child. for the educational background, she is graduate in English education, graduate in 2000. For now, she lives in Netherlands, Amersfoort, the Netherlands. And she lived in Netherlands since 2006. And her job is housewife. And then the language that she uses is Indonesian, Japanese, English, and Dutch. And I think for the job, it's not just housewife, and I think her job is also a private English teacher. And for Cynthiana parents, for her mother, she used Japanese, and for her father, it is mixed from Dutch Japanese. And actually, both of them using Japanese and Indonesian like Anita and Pecho. But in this case, Cynthiana father also can speak Dutch. Okay, the last participant we have Danto. Danto, his age, it is 44 years old, and he is a married person, have 2 children, and his educational background, and he is graduate in 1992 in electrical engineering from Institute of Technology Bandung, Indonesia, and he live in Al-Khobar, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Al-Khobar in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and he is live in there since 2006. And then for the language that he used, it is Indonesian, Sundanese, English, Arabic, and Hindi. I think for the first time before he lived in Saudi Arabia, Danto also lived in India, for your information. Then for his family background, Danto father using Chinese descent in Karawang, and he also can speak Sundanese and Indonesian. And then for her late mother, she also can speak Chinese descent, and then she also can speak Minangese and Indonesian. So for Danto case, he's different with Anita, Pecho, Cynthiana parents. Next is about data analysis from the study. The data analysis that I will explain, first participant is from Anita. She mentioned in here that she struggled about learning Germany. She said that actually she learned Germany by herself, and she brought herself a dictionary like Indonesian German, Indonesian Germany, and then English Germany, and she brought it everywhere anytime she went. And second, she said that she felt difficult when she learning about German, because the grammar from the German and then from the Indonesian is different. It's different, the structure. And the third, she mentioned that she often made mistakes at the beginning of her stay in the Germany. However, she is not shy about making a mistake when learning to speak using Germany. And then for the next is, she mentioned that she has a high spirit, big dreams, and great enthusiasm for learning about Germany. Before learning about Germany, Anita had the chance to learn about Dutch, and she was quite fluent already, but then she decided to go to Germany, not the Netherlands. Learning about Dutch is easier than learning about Germany because it has many words in Indonesian or Japanese which were taken from Dutch, like the words of sepur or train, and then padlock or pencil, or kantor, office. The last is she mentioned that she is a multilingual person because besides English and Germany, she also learned some other foreign languages like Dutch, French, Spanish, and Chinese because some of her customers were from those countries, and she often traveled to those countries for some business. And that is from data analysis from Anita. Next participant from the data analysis in this article, that is Pedro. In here, Pedro means that he struggles in the job of dealing with English, Arabic, and Tagalog. Pedro, he works in the Suez Canal as the first-rank captain assistant on the anchored ship. The ship takes care of the tool supplies for oil rigs in the sea. And in here, Pedro means that Pedro works for Zamil Marine Service Company in the Middle East. First, he struggled to speak with those on board because in his job, he met with many people from different countries, various nationalities like from Philippines, Arabic, and Tagalog. In the Middle East, actually, sometimes he speak using English, but if he feels like difficult, he use body language, like explain something using his body language, body gesture, for explain something to his coworkers or his friends. And in here, Pedro said that he doesn't have any formal education in English, so just like I explained before, he used body language and he used simple and understandable English. He said that he doesn't need perfect English grammar as long as the core of the communication is understood. It is enough for him. In learning to speak English properly, he mentioned that he feels that the biggest difficulty is dealing with language, isn't grammar. There are times when he has to use body language. If he does, it seems like what I said before. If he feels difficult, he will use his body language or symbol words. And he said that being multilingual, working with people from different nationalities makes Pedro happy because he needs to maintain a good relationships with others. And even though Pedro feels struggle with those languages, but actually he feels happy because he can communicate with others, could make friends with others. For the third participant, that is Cynthiana. In here, she mentioned that the long winding road to get married to the Dutch man. First, she was born from a mixed marriage. Her mom is from Japanese and her dad is from Dutch. But actually, he can also speak Japanese. And her late grandfather was a Dutch, and her aunt got married to a Dutchman and lived there. For the first time, Cynthiana mentioned that she is really struggling and very emotional with the Dutch language. And then, after graduating from UKSW in 2000, she met her husband and stayed for 3 months in Dutch. Yeah, in there, I mean in her husband countries, her husband place. Then back to Indonesia and continued to learn about Dutch from a native speaker in Salatiga. So Cynthiana come back again to Indonesia for learns about Dutch language from native speaker that stay in Salatiga. She stayed in the Netherlands and continued to learn Dutch on her own. And Cynthiana mentioned that for her experience, the biggest difficulty when she learned about Dutch is vocabulary and the grammar. But she can face the hardship. Cynthiana also mentioned not about just the struggle or the problem that she faced, but also she mentioned that she's happy to be she's happy to be a multilingual because she can introduce the language to her daughter and she can mingle with the Dutch. In here, Cynthiana said that she can explain or she can teach her family, her daughter about Indonesian. The last participant for this data analysis from this article, that is Danto. Danto mentioned that lexical barrier in learning different languages. In 2004, he went to India to work on an oil rig as a technician. In India, he learned about Hindi language and could speak Hindi for his daily communications as well as for his job. Same like the participant B, that is Bejo, either in English or Hindi. He mentioned that he don't have to be perfect or simple or understandable for the English or Hindi. And the second, that is the most important words or the contents words, or the less important parts like the article or ending as can be left out. Actually, it means that when he speaks using Hindi language, sometimes he lacks the important parts or important article like the important part he left out. And the third point from Danto, in June 2006 he left India and moved to Saudi Arabia, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, for his job. And it says that the same in 2006 June, the same company moved him to Al Khobar, a city near Daman in Saudi Arabia. There, Danto met with people from many nationalities, same like Bejo, and he needed to be able to speak Arabic as most of his co-workers come from Saudi Arabia. Danto mentioned that he could speak English, Arabic, and Hindi. Since Danto has stayed for about 7 years and 5 months in Saudi Arabia, he can speak some Arabic words for daily communication. But actually, Danto mentioned that he doesn't feel happy or proud to be a multilingual person. He thinks that it is because of his job requirements he is required to be able to communicate with his co-workers who come from many different countries with many different languages. It means that Danto is different with those participants because he become a multilingual person because of his job, not uh, his own, like Cynthiana, Picho, and Anita. They being multilingual person, they happy become the multilingual person because there's many advantages but different with dental. And the last, he mentioned that the biggest difficulty for dental lies in learning the vocabularies of the different languages like English or Arabic. This is mainly because perfect grammar is not needed as long as they can get the message across. Good grammar is not a big deal. Actually, what he's mentioned, it same like Bejo. He mentioned that it doesn't have to be a perfect grammar or a perfect sentence, but actually it have to be simple and good. I mean, the simple and good, it means that as long as the person that listen or hear about our statement, about our sentence, or something like that, as long as the person get the message across and they understand.
Hello everyone, I would like to present about findings. So we have 4 participants. The first is Anita. She is very happy to be multilingual, learning different languages and cultures because some of her customers were from these countries and she often traveled to those countries for business. Even though she had struggled with German grammar, she learned from her mistakes, which helped her in improving the German language. The second participant is Pecho. He said that he's happy being multilingual because he can work with people from different countries with different languages. He also said that he needs to maintain good relationship with others. And the third participant is Cynthiana. She is really struggling, emotional, but she is happy being multilingual because she can introduce the language to her doctor and she can mingle with the Dutch. Not only that, she can introduce the Indonesian language to her husband, introduce multi-language to her doctor, and speak to other people from multi-nationalities with Dutch. And then the last one is Danto. He doesn't feel happy or proud because he does this for his job. He also states that he just feels normal to be multilingual. It is the requirement of my job so that he can communicate with his coworkers. Okay, and the last is conclusion. So we can see that there is always a multilingual obstacle. However, people who can speak multiple languages can find ways to minimize the problem. There are 4 study participants described in this article who had no prior experience with local people, food, local languages, or cultures. However, they still survived based on being a multilingual person abroad. We can say that a multilingual person living outside their country is more rich in culture and has a better understanding of intercultural knowledge. Overall, we can see that being multilingual is special and also a unique opportunity. Whatever the reason is to find a job, get married, or study learning the language and culture of others is always enjoyable and interesting. So thank you for your attention. See you.